The next section is our headland management. Now when I pull up the headland management, it's going to just bring up the display window. And I do not have a headland sequence saved in here yet. So we'll go ahead and go into our headland management, and you'll see there's a couple different ways that we can actually set a headland. We can do it manually, or we can do it automatically. I'll do it automatically first to show you how simple this is, and then we'll go in and adjust it manually. So if I hit auto, it's going to bring up this screen, and what we'll do is drive to the end of the field or drive to the field and do the functions that we want to do for that, whether it's lift the implement up, engage, disengage our four-wheel drive, diff lock. So I'm going to hit a few buttons over on the side here, and you'll see them pop up. Maybe a hydraulic remote. Okay, so I have that set. I'll hit stop, and it's going to put the end of our sequence there. So that's how simple it is to do it in auto. You can also go into manual, and since I have a sequence already started, it's going to pull that in, and I can add more to it, or I can go back and edit this sequence. Maybe I want to add something in between our diff lock engage and our true track. I can hit this top button. That's going to insert a box, and then it'll bring up all our choice of actions, what we want it to do. On this D series, you'll see it's laid out real nice, so it just has the high level options, and then once you click into it, it'll give you the other options available. So our front wheel assist, we'll disengage that. Sequence doesn't make sense right now, we're disengaging it twice, but this will just show you how you do it. Now we can set up another sequence after this, so we have two sequences, maybe going into the headland sequence and then exiting the headland sequence. So let's go ahead and set a few options. Let's set it so we engage our SV1. Let's go to our hydraulics. We'll extend our number 2. We'll engage our auto steer. Make sure that you pick the right one. The one with the arrow through it is your true track, and the one with steering wheel without the arrow is for your auto steer engage. We'll just keep it simple here. Let's maybe put a time delay in here. We want to wait 4 seconds, and then once that's done, we want to engage our diff lock. Okay, so then I'm going to push the end of sequence button, so that tells me that that is the end of that sequence. Okay, now I'm going to escape out of that screen, and we come back one page. One option that we need to be aware of is this time in between functions. So I'm going to click on that, and what this allows us to do is adjust how much of a delay there is in between each function. So if I hold down the headland management button to do a complete sequence, this tells us how long in between each function before it does the next one. Typically I like to keep these down pretty slow because I want it to just happen. If I want a larger delay in between two, that's where I'll put this 4-second delay, or we can also put in a distance delay. So now that we have our two sequences set, I need to start that. Now I'll just escape out, and you'll see it's going to list the first 6 things in the sequence. And since our first sequence was only 5 long, that's what it should be displaying. Okay, so now if I'm going to shift the camera over, to our headland management button here, located right on the joystick. If I press this headland management button once, it's going to do the first function. If I press it and hold it, it'll run through the entire sequence until that pause break. So that's a big thing to remember. Pressing it momentarily is only going to do one function. Pressing it and holding it will run you through the entire sequence.